So, in the world, it's time for Plot of the Man, episode 7. We're gonna have Death Note Arthur here, and it blew up a building! That's right, so, I don't know, did it die? Very unlikely that. I mean, they're very, very fast, and we've seen how, what's called Metropolitan Man, basically is a teleporting. He's not teleporting, but he's so fast that it was like, I'm here, and I'm here, you know. So, I don't think they got an explosion work very well on an angel guy. You just escape it, right? You're faster than that. I do find the scene kind of silly, right? They kind of going there. He's ready to kill her immediately. He says it before, so like, I'm gonna shoot her. Then he gets there. It's like, no, I can't do it. And he doesn't do it, right? So it's a little bit like, well, what if you shoot her here? Yeah. What if you shot? What if you had shot her immediately? Then you wouldn't be in this trouble, right? So I thought it's a little silly. Where this new Saki character is presented as, I'm willing to kill them to, you know, save the god things, alright? And then immediately it's like, actually, maybe I shouldn't kill her. She's a crazy girl. And he immediately kind of goes away from what he just argued for like a minute ago, right? He immediately kind of backpedals on his general belief system, right? So it's a little bit like, yeah, I guess. And of course, there are many problems with it because it puts him into a situation where he is about to die, and again, that thing comes from him just not like committing to his plan. Right? He had his plan like, okay, but I am actually gonna like, you know, I'm gonna shoot her no matter what. Right? He's like, I'm gonna shoot her no matter what, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna do it, and then of course, he doesn't do it. So, I mean, sure, I buy it that it's harder to. You say some things right, it's hard to actually stand by what you're saying sometimes. It's easy to argue you're gonna shoot someone and then you don't actually do it right. Sure to some extent. But, I don't know. I find because this anime, to some extent, because it's so focused on basically life and death, right? It's so focused on like, if you do this thing right, do it wrong, you know, people are gonna die, right? I think it's a little bit like because they're gonna die if they fail, right? And so when I say die, I mean the whole world's gonna die because the stake is so high in this anime. And then I feel a little bit like, well, you probably would you shoot. Same with of course the main characters being so anti-violence, but his situation is like, well, if I don't do violence, the planet will be destroyed, basically, right? So it's kind of like. You can look at it as a trolley problem, right? I mentioned last week too. It's a trolley problem where it's like, who would you save? 1 life for 10 life, right? And he's like, who would you save? 1 life for 1 billion lives, right? It's an absurd situation. So, well, let's watch the episode, see what happens. But I'm just like, maybe you should shoot next time, you know? 3, 2, 1, go. I'm just saying, maybe if you shot immediately, right? I'm just saying, maybe he could just fire it immediately, and he wouldn't really be in this issue. It would be a thing. So anyway, yeah, so the exploded shit, right? Yeah, but Metropolitan Man explodes the tower. It's probably open now. No. I thought that'd be a good opening part, but whatever. Yeah. Of course, Metropolitan Man explodes. I feel he's like super fast. Yeah, okay, I actually didn't. He's not super fast, but I don't know. I was wondering if he could just avoid it, right? Isn't he that super fast? It's probably open there. Oh. Yeah, so he gets hurt. I guess the main guy has to learn to. People have to die, right? So they can win the thing. I guess he has to learn that thing. Yeah, so now he's like injured. But I don't know, like he has his super armor on him. He's like his weird is, you know, super body armor, right? I would imagine he would be. Well, obviously, with his guns and everything. There's no reason to not use all weaponry. Yeah, I mean, if you're allowed to use explosions and guns and everything, there's no reason to only use a white arrow. If anything, I mean, if you don't have the white arrow, why wouldn't you use weapons, right? Because you can't shoot otherwise. Yeah, like if you don't have the white arrow, you will be locked into having the red arrow only otherwise. anything is fairer, you can use weapons. Oh, sorry, just sneeze away. If anything is fairer, I feel that you can use weapons set to white arrow. How's gonna win this in now then? No, it's okay. I would argue, I think it's more fair that, okay, sure, he's a bad guy, whatever, right? But I mean, ignoring he's a bad guy, like, it's more fair, I think, that if you don't have the white arrow, you can use a gun, right? So allowing everyone to use guns is like a better balance, I would say. Makes it more balanced, right? Than having only the white arrow to kill someone. Because, you know, only a few of them have the white arrow. Generally speaking, though, I mean, of course, it makes the anime more interesting, right? The dynamic, but certainly it's a little weird thing in the whole setting that they have this god game and some people have shit angels. Yeah. At least it's like Miraniki, you know, they have the same. Like in Miraniki, they have. They don't have the same, but they have, you know, you have one power each, right? Yeah, it's not like I have 3 powers, you get 1 power. Of course, the powers are very different, but there are the different levels of the power in Miraniki example. But I think it's pretty common, right? Look at something like Battle Royale, the first movie, the classic old movie. It's like the same thing in that one, right? You kind of have a system where, how does it work? They get a random weapon, right? And some people get like, yeah, they get a random weapon. Some people get like a frying pan. Some people get like a gun, right? So it's very, very unfair. But at the same time, it's one random weapon per person. Again, it's very unfair, but it's like just completely randomized, right? And you can't get like 5 weapons. You get 1 weapon. So in one way, it is actually more pure, I'll say. But here we go. What is he waiting for? Well, yeah. Well, I guess he's like, oh, it's a child. I mean, true, he's a... Good point to Metropolitan, man. Like, you're so pathetic, man. Just fight me, right? Yeah, like, I want to be God, right? I would say to a minimum, but it's like, yeah, to a minimum? I mean, yeah, to some extent, maybe. I was like, to a minimum, arguably. Yeah, that was obvious. He's like, I'm sending out this girl to just kill ugly, and also ugly girls. Pointed out again. I don't know why he was like, you can only kill ugly girls, but I guess because they looked cute girls. I guess it's like a sister, right? Reminds me of sister, probably. So it's like, only ugly fat ladies. Yeah, here we go. His sad backstory. My poor sister. We'll get his backstory, I guess, right? Yeah. Where he put in like Han Solo carbonation. he was like, I'm gonna carbonate my sister. Because why not? Carbonation strategy, man. Yeah. I mean, you just blew up the tower. I guess not from this standpoint. He's like, but you just blew up the tower. He's like, you just blew up the tower. I won't hurt anyone else. You just blew up a tower, though. It's like, how does he argue for that? It's like, no, I won't do it anymore, guys. Except the tower has blew up, though. But if you ignore the people on the tower and so on, those cops, they have like charm and so on. Because I mean, yeah, they charm those cops, right? They charm the cops and also caught the girl, and she was innocent, though. But yeah. But yeah, also if he kills everyone else, he wins. So if he kills us, he gets stronger, so he's gonna win, right? Yeah. Also, if he kills you, he also wins. He also wins. I said it again here, so he's gonna win though if you just do that. So that's like pretty bad. I don't know. It's like, I don't know why he's waiting. Honestly, yeah, I don't know why Metropolitan is waiting here. What's he waiting for? Oh, here we go. Hot wing elf, milf elf comes. I guess she helps out with that. No, he good. Someone's cute girl here. Yeah, they also okay. They we. How are they washing their backs by having their not been turned around? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. We're tricking him, right? Yeah, we're tricking him. I have the better power. Yes, exactly. We have a fake angel on my. Yeah, we have the stupid angel on my side. So I think that I have the better angel, right? I do get this plan definitely. He's gonna think that of course he has Nasse, so he's more worth it to kill, right? Exactly. He's like that one. Gotta kill the one with the bigger angel, right? He's like, I have this thing. Some sci-fi gadget. What does he do? I don't know, but it's... Yeah, it's more bombs. He's so evil. I put on a bomb. Of course he did. But his whole plan is like, these guys are good guys, so I can trick them with my bombs, right? Like, his strategy only works if his enemies are goody-two-shoe heroes. His strategy has like no value if the good guys wouldn't be good characters. If they were just like random people. If they were just neutral people, right? Not caring about saving other people, they would just beat him, yeah, or at least wouldn't for his trap. His trap only works because these guys are, good guys, yeah. Oh, sorry, we're fine with this. I'm ready for it. Oh. So his strategy, that way I think is very bad, right? Because it's like, well, he said earlier too with the whole, we have to pull them in with the angels. Yeah, she's a pure angel. Gotta look at the face though, I don't know. I don't know, Nasse can hear the voice, right? She's a... I don't know, man. I believe in Nasse's innocence. He doesn't see his face. She can probably hear his voice something. She's just like... He's lying. And I know it because I'm the innocent angel. God damn it. Goody two-shoe, guys. But do you think, why would you even agree to this thing? He's like, let's trade one life. Yeah, why would he agree for this thing? Then why couldn't he just betray the math to her? Betray the promise? Yeah. I mean, why would he even... Hopefully they lied or they didn't shoot him anyway. There's so much no reason for them to trust him. And why would he trust them, right? So they can just shoot him immediately when the chance. And of course Saki is useless. She's really useless. I mean, she could have been there too and sniped him, right? She could have been behind him and sniped him, so yeah. Could have perhaps done that. Yeah, exactly. Like, you clearly smarter than the useless guy there. Yeah, he's like, no! You're clearly a better guy than he is. Exactly. I was saying that too. He's like, I don't care about who has the best power. You're clearly more intelligent than him. He's like, this guy's a really stupid guy. Yeah, like, the only guy over there seems to be really stupid. So I'd rather kill you because you're more competent, right? I don't care too much about the actual power level. It's more that this guy is really stupid and you seem to be much more competent. So I'm gonna kill the competent guy. So, yeah. Yeah. Can he finally do something? Come on! Finally defeat him. It's like, let another guy die. He let the girl die, let those two guys die. He's let so many people die in front of him. Finally, might do something. Yeah. But yeah, he did block the title, but he could have... I guess he also could have won that probably. He probably could have hit him instead. He probably could have hit what the part of the man and won instead. Because he would have died, but he probably could have ended it. No, she's like, oh yeah, of course she's the intelligent. She's the wisdom man. Oh my god, that's a new trick. Yeah, so you can cut the wings. I guess she's the oh my god, that's a cool trick. Yeah, no, I know this. Yeah, she's the smarty one. She's like, yeah, for next game battle. Finally? No, he just avoids him anyway. But why is it just punching with your arrow? Using the arrow as a punching. Yeah, this is arrow by like. I'm just gonna punch you with my dodge with my dagger thing. You keep dodging it. Instead of shooting at it. I don't know why he just. Let's do the same thing again. You probably can block it right with your hand. It's like dodgeball. You can block it with your own ball, right? Yeah, it's like playing dodgeball. Exactly. You can just block it with your own weapon, right? Yeah, you can be like, screw you, man. I can obviously block if I also destroy it, right? Yeah. Why hasn't no one ever else tried this before? Because they all have arrows. I just have no idea how he's doing this. Wait, how did he master dodge ability and perfect blocking and so on? How did he suddenly become the master of this shit? If it's kind of random that it's just way better at dodging. And also, of course, he could use maybe. I mean, can you use like one arrow per hand? Can you have like a white arrow and red arrow? Can you punch with two? Can you do like that? I don't know about killing, but I mean, couldn't Metropolitan Man perhaps have another dagger? Could he have like two? Could he have another one in his other hand? Yeah. Couldn't he have like a left one with a red arrow and red one? Could he do this shit like? Couldn't he like, Yeah, he suddenly became amazing good at this. Yeah, what ugly pig, yeah. It's Kakui! In classic Nasse, she's probably like, wait, she's lying behind it. She probably figured out that Nasse is his true angel, right? Kakui! She's like, oh, she's clearly his angel. Yeah. Kakui! Yeah. What a cool guy! Yeah, she obviously is like, okay, I see. He's obviously lying. Yeah. Come on, you know how she is. There's no way she didn't figure it out, right? She's like, oh, I see. You support that guy, eh? Oh, I see. But yeah, they just keep fighting here. They just keep swinging their arrows as. I mean, they keep using the arrows as if the arrows were daggers, right? Here's the gun, of course. Yeah, I got his gun right, the actual gun. He also got a red arrow though. See, now he kind of teleported behind him here. Now he got kind of. I guess this is gonna fail because this guy has like armor. I guess so. He shoots it like 20 times, but I guess it's like fine because he has like armor on him. So I guess it's like whatever, right? Yeah, like his Metropolitan armor is like bullet immune or something. He's like, it's bulletproof. But he lost. Wait, how did he lose his mask? He shot him in the back, right? That doesn't make any sense. What? Did he like shoot him in the back? I mean, first of all, of course his armor is like bulletproof. I don't understand why he can't chase after him. Why he's like magically. This doesn't make any sense with the whole teleporting thing. It really makes no sense. But like, I have to go back. But then he shoot him in the back, and then this mask is broken. Wouldn't that be like? What, I hit you in the back, right? So, like, how would I break your mask with that? I don't understand how that. Yeah, but does he know who he is though? He's like some kind of rich elite kid, right? Maybe he's famous, I guess. Maybe he's rich. Maybe he's a rich, famous guy. That wouldn't be impossible, I suppose. He could be rich and famous, but still, like, does it help him? He shouldn't have any. I was thinking that they clearly live in different worlds. So that he saw his face, does that really help him at all? Unless, of course, because he's like a very rich guy, he might see, oh, that's the son of the CEO or something. He might know that, oh, he's like the famous rich boy, you know, he's like this trust fund kid that has like $1 million, whatever, yeah. Maybe he knows. Yeah, of course you can have. That obviously is Kashi's Mirai Kashi is the name, yeah. His obviously weakness is he can never shoot anyone, you know. He's so hesitant and never hurting anyone. But his fighting, your fight skill was amazing though. Like it's just completely out of nowhere. Suddenly he's just the greatest fighter, martial art master ever. Yeah. But I guess it's more like survival. It's what to save people, right? Yeah, I don't hurt it. I want to save people. I didn't want to die, right? So it's like I rage moded. I didn't want to die. Yeah. He has like... He's definitely a bad guy in a war because he can never hurt anyone. But he has like super talented martial artist. But I mean, this is like, yeah, like he lived through this super bad life story. You know, he had, yeah, and he obviously got beaten up all the time. But that's why I feel that his personality is just so weird because, yeah, because he's just an abused kid. He'd probably be a much tougher skinned guy. He'd probably be much more like, his character's kind of weird, right? Because he would probably be more angry or whatever, right? So it would be more of like a screw the world, you know. It's kind of like he should have, but being a coward when people are bullying you at school and then having angel powers, not using them to kill people. He's like, yeah, he's kind, but it's like if you live through a life where everyone keeps beating the crap out of you, you probably end up also being able to beat the crap out of people, right? Because you've been through it a lot. I think he's a weird, very weird character. It's a very weird place, his character. I mean, yeah, like, this is like, I don't feel any joy killing people. Yeah, I mean, sure, I was saying, I don't think anyone, you know, yeah, it's a little weird. I don't think anyone is like wanting him to enjoy killing people. No one is like, go out here and kill people, right? This guy's like, you're killing him to save people, right? To give people joy. We're not trying to kill him because we enjoy killing people. We're trying to kill him because he is gonna kill everyone. So we have to save everyone, and that's gonna give people joy. So I think the whole logic doesn't make any sense. Like his logical pattern doesn't really flow right. Yeah, he wants everyone to be happy, but this guy is trying to kill everyone. Maybe you have to stop him, right, from killing everyone. Yeah, because he was trying to jump, right? I mean, everyone is always getting almost death, right? Metropolitan Man probably tried to, because it's history, right? Metropolitan Man seems to be the less depressed of them. They're all depressed, right? Metropolitan Man, like these guys were the depressed one, yeah. But this girl, of course, bullets one. But Metropolitan Man was probably depressed with his sister. That's the only thing that makes sense, right? But he's probably the least. He's very likely, I feel, the least depressed character, and he was just like, oh, my sister's like a temporary depression, right? With all the cats are a little more, oh no, you know, they're a little more, how to say it, brutal, right? What we want to call it. Yeah, but it's always face. He's probably a famous rich kid. So it might be... And of course she's questioning if he can ever love her because he's like a loser or whatever. They all have a lot of self-hatred. That's how Metropolitan Man is very different. Because he's like, yeah, the only guy that doesn't hate himself, right? He's like the only alien candidate that loves himself, yeah. Oh, of course, he's yeah, obviously, of course, he's a sharp doctor, yeah, of course. Makes sense, yeah. He just kills him. Of course he lied about everything, yeah. Of course he lies like, I killed everyone, I'm camera shit. I don't care about my lies. You mean to kill doctor. I'm a freaking liar, man, I'm a bad guy. Exactly, I'm a bad guy, right? I don't care about shit. Mirai, yeah. No, it's my boyfriend though. Fine, go on. He's my boyfriend. Do you like him now? Yeah, so to flying together in the sky, girl. He's like, I mean, we're not dating, but like, I love him. Yeah, I can't fall for him because, like, I don't know, because she also hates herself. I think she can't fall for him because she hates herself. I don't think it's about that she doesn't love him, right? I think so, at least. I think that's it. She's like, no, I can't love him because I can't love anyone. I think that's more her thing. That she is like, I am unable to feel love, right? Because I hate myself for something. That's probably her thing. I think she's so obsessed with. I think she's so obsessed with having like a bad life that she is like, I cannot, because she's like, oh, would I be good enough for him? You know. So for her, I think it's much more about the whole thing that she doesn't think that anyone could love her for real, right? And she cannot be valued or be loved by anyone either. It's something like that. Yeah, it's something like that, right? But I would say in her case, right? That's what I mean with Metropolitan. Metropolitan Man is like the only person that doesn't seem to hate himself. Metropolitan Man seems to be all like, I'm the greatest, I'm the richest, I'm the most beautiful, right? And she's like, oh, I hate myself. No one could ever love me. And they're gonna see Mirai do the same thing. He's like, oh, everyone bullied me, but I kind of deserve it, you know. So they all have so much self-hate. They had the two nerd guys that were kind of similar and so on. So again, that I think is important with the sister with Metropolitan Man Yandere speaking, because right, he's like the only guy that of this character, of course, it doesn't seem to actually, again, right, actually be depressed or whatever, or actually not want to live. He's like the only person that want to live, but, you know, his sister probably died, or, well, die, I say. we know she didn't die, of course, because she's actually in that Han Solo. She's in the Han Solo, right, yeah. She's in the carbonated state, right, so we know that she can't, like, I wish, yeah, we saw the first time we saw her before she was carbonated, yeah. It is the first time we saw the sister scene, yeah. She's like, I guess she liked the stars or something, right? You know, she's in this, the rich, right? She probably, grandpa, whatever, probably built her some kind of, she can look at the stars or whatever, you know. But anyway, yeah, so I mean, obviously the sister, I guess, got sick or something, right? Kind of like Mr. Freeze Baxter or something. She got sick, he froze her down so she wouldn't die, but he sees her as dead basically, right? And that's why he's all depressed for at least momentarily, and then he could get his angel, right? That single day. Whatever, or what I guess is very different from every other. I mean, otherwise though he's very different compared to the other candidates, right? They're all kind of like more trying to, I guess, the self-hate so on. It's like her, right? But anyway, he does shoot you in the back, right? I'm gonna go back to this in here. It is very weird how they get this thing broken in the front. I mean, I guess it's kind of half-ass hits him in the neck or something, but not really. Kind of shoots him with best here, right? So I don't know why they would break his face. It also doesn't make much sense of it, because it doesn't look like he's hitting him at all in the face. Like he's hitting him in the back, right? Hitting him in his back, like his neck or his, maybe his helmet, but like maybe the back of his helmet. But yeah, I don't see any reasoning why specifically the face would be broken just because he shot him when he didn't shoot him from the front. So I mean, I understand they want to show his face, right? That's gonna be the key now to, of course, find him. But I do feel it's kind of forced, right? I don't feel it actually made any sense. Like, I don't feel it actually, like motivated, right? How he got shot in his face. Like, it doesn't make any sense. He shot him in the back. That was kind of strange. I understand that they, of course, want to, how to say it? I mean, they obviously want to, like, get his face shown, because that's gonna be the story element, right? But what they could have done, I would argue for, but I mean, very simply could have done, right? Is instead, of course, to actually just have him shoot him from the front, right? Just make him shoot him in the front and all the stuff, shoot him in different angles, right? And it would be easier to accept that his mask got broken. More so. I'm trying to get a good image of them fighting. Maybe that one. I don't know. I'm looking at the fight again. I'm trying to get a good like. Maybe this one. It's kind of fugly. This is like a CGI thing. Yeah, I'm just rewatching the fight a bit here. It's like a CGI thing going on there. It's let's talk about the elephant in the room though. I've been kind of harsh with anime, and I feel I keep being harsh with anime because it is, I think, pretty mediocrely written, right? And I keep saying it. I'm disappointed because I expect more from Death Note's artists. This fight for me has an issue when it comes to the general strategy of the characters, right? So I don't care that much that he doesn't want to kill anyone. I do think that's very overblown, and again, it doesn't make much sense that he wouldn't be willing to kill anyone over, humanity, right? So, like, a little bit like, yeah, okay, maybe we should reconsider that. And his argument later, he's like, I could never take you off from anyone. I just want to give people happiness. That to me, I think is a very, very weak argument, right, from a logical standpoint, because this guy is ruining other people's lives. This bad guy here is killing people, setting out the serial killers, all right. That removes joys from those people and their families, as well, right. This guy is a negative happiness meter, right. If you destroy him, you have more happiness people in general. I don't think so. The argument from a logical standpoint, rational standpoint, has zero value, right? Because you obviously should kill him if you want to actually care about people's joy, right? He has a principle thing going on there, but it doesn't really make any sense that he's arguing later that it's like, no, I can't kill him because I could never remove him, but this guy's removing joy. So it's like a very very childish worldview, right? Very, very immature worldview. And he certainly is going to outgrow that eventually, right? But I think it's that this anime's issue with the main character, having this worldview, then of course this guy keeps like murdering people, right? You know what I mean? Like he's not just like has like a naive worldview and then things slowly progress in his life. He has like a worldview that's very, very naive, and then really, really big stuff happens constantly in his life, right? Every day basically, which makes that he has to either really, really quickly remove that or die or something. Yeah, like it's a little bit. He's so fast and it's such a bigger thing and there's so many lives at stake that it really feels like, well, at this point you really should be able to kill him. And as I mentioned earlier, I said it last week too and so on, I do find it weak, right, that he has this really bad childhood. We saw that too when he was bullied in school and his aunt and all, the aunts, his aunt and uncle, they were beating him and all this stuff, right, abusing him and so on, all this horrible shit, right? We keep seeing that, and yet he's like, oh, I was weak, I didn't do anything. But it's not really weak. It's more like if you bully people, you can't fight them if you're weaker than them. But it's a difference between being, physically weak. Okay, so 4 people are bullying you, you can't beat them yourself, right? So you're okay, I can't do it because I'm physically weaker than them, right? That's one thing. But it's another thing being like, I have a gun in my hand, they don't have a gun, I can defend myself if I want to, and I choose not to, right? For whatever reason. That's another thing. And this guy basically has like a nuke in his hand, and he's like, I don't want to use my nuke. It's a very different situation than being bullied and actually being outnumbered, right, by your opponents. Similar to when he grew up, his aunt was abusing him, right? He's also very abused by his aunt, and it's like, yeah, he's a kid, a 10-year-old versus 2 adults. Not a good matchup, right? So again, there too, he can argue that, I was weak, I was afraid, I couldn't fight them, and that makes sense. But then he also has this thing, like I see now, when he's like, but now he has all the power, and he's gonna use it. It's a very different thing. So what I mean that I found the weakness there, right, is that he's kind of arguing that he has like a mixture. His argument isn't very solid. He's arguing in one way that he's physically weak. He's a coward and he lacks the physical strength to do it, or then the bravado to do it, right? Again, it's different because like if you're too afraid to fight your bullies when you're a kid and you're like outnumbered, you know what I mean, and like versus one person, it's a very different thing. So it doesn't really hold up, I would say, because his issue that he can't shoot this guy. It's not the same thing as being too afraid of doing extra. It's much more like, no, like it's not about his physical wisdom, no. So he kind of conflicts that, and he just doesn't sound very. He just sounds kind of stupid, I think. Honestly, yeah. I guess honestly, I think it sounds kind of stupid. It's like he's conflicting being too weak to defend himself, just straight up, right, physical weakness, with the mental defense to defend himself, and also mixing that with like the mental, like I don't know, result driven, like I'm gonna do it, you know. It's three different things there. Because the last thing is like, it's one thing to be bullied and ignore it. It's another thing to be bullied and revenge or whatever, you know, like something like that, like something else, right? So it's like it's a lot of different dimensions there, and I think it's kind of a flat written character where he just combines them all into one thing. You could argue that's a good writing, and he's gonna change out of that eventually, perhaps. But I don't think it's building up to that. Well, actually, I mean, yes, it's building up to that, generally speaking, but not in a natural way. Like he's not like saying, because no one, they keep telling him that, well, if you don't kill this guy, he's gonna kill the whole planet, right? And he's like, oh, but I mean, I want to kill him. So it's not really like developing in a, not really like moving towards that, right? In a I'll say it, reasonable manner. If it's kind of far-fetched. But anyway, that's my take on his general personality. I took this image here, because I want to talk about the actual fight, right? So the fight here, I feel, it's just pretty terrible, honestly. Man, I cannot dislike the anime. No, but I want to like the anime. I don't hate it all the way. I think it's interesting, except that Saki seems to not want to date him because she has so much self-hate, right? That she's clearly in love with him, but she doesn't want to admit that because she's like, I'm not worthy of love and so on. So I think there are interesting characters here. I think there are interesting like dimensional characters here, right? So his character, I feel a little shoehorn, right? His character I feel a little forced to be the specific character. And I don't like that, right? Because yeah, again, his character feels a little bit, you know, like it's too. He's like too. Basically, like he's too man-made, right, to be this like pacifist character. But his backstory and things happened to him doesn't actually shouldn't make you that kind of pacifist, right? So I think he is like a shoehorn personality trait, super pacifist, even though it doesn't make any sense in a given context. So yeah, I have a trouble with that, no questions asked, right? But I think a big problem I have is the actual scene here. I feel so negative, but I just feel like this is much bigger. So again, I like the Saki. I think she's a much better written character. His sidekick, you know, better written characters, so on. The apes are better written characters, and the bad guy also, right? So the main character is unfortunately, I would say, the weakest written character in the whole anime, probably. He's probably the worst written character. Unfortunately, he's the main character. But all of that, let's go past this point there. All of that, though, I think a bigger issue if we're coming to last year then. So slap at that, but that was the last point here. And that is that this fight doesn't make much sense, right? I said in the export, doesn't make much sense. Like he's just here fighting this guy. How? Right? How did he suddenly become a good fighter? Like that's what I kind of bored with here. Like he's just, he goes from this like, what's it called, pacifist guy that never fought anyone. And I understand of course he's like, oh, I'm raging, my emotions are overflowing, so I'm more better, serious, whatever, right? So I understand that's a thing, in a way. Still should make you a better fighter, but you know what I mean. But whatever, I can ignore it because of the drama. Okay, tension and drama. Okay, so let's ignore that. So he kind of levels up his abilities, and for argument's sake, let's say that it's like reasonable. He actually is a much better fighter, even though he never fought anyone, and so on. So I guess I think it's kind of silly. He goes from a pacifist. He says it's flashback. He never fought anyone. He never did anything. Suddenly, it's like amazing and so on. So it definitely, to me, doesn't make any sense. He's just straight up, suddenly amazing fighter from being like the worst fighter or having refused to fight people forever, right? So how did he suddenly become a great fighter? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's straight up just illogical that he would be such a good fighter. So that is certainly an issue from a general standpoint. But I think the bigger issue isn't really that. I mean, that is an issue itself, that he's just suddenly winning, right? He's amazingly suddenly fighting. I think that's definitely an issue. But the bigger issue is how this is not solving the problem with intelligence. Right. So what I mean with that, this anime here, instead of, you know, actually defeat him at the Portal Man in this battle of wits, right? Because they're clearly having like a battle of wits oh, I'm gonna do that thing, he's gonna do that thing, he's trying to defeat us, he's trying to, fight his imposter, right? He's just trying all these strategies. So they have all these strategies, like, oh, I'm gonna have a Nasse behind me, so I'm gonna look at a better target. And he's like, I don't care who's the real angel, you're a smarter person, They have all this, where's the Nasse scene? Here, whatever, Nasse or other, it doesn't matter. They have all this like fake angel stuff. Oh, we're gonna trick him with this fake angel shit. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be the best thing ever, right? And so on. So they have this stuff going for them, where they're trying to fool him, and then this thing, and he's gonna fool them with the bombs, right? And he's throwing out the bomb as a tramp to kill them, and you get my point, right? They have all these, strategies and layers, and he's like, well, if he does that thing, this is our counter strategy. If he does plan A, we do plan X, and then we do this thing, right? They have all these, layered strategies, right? And that's what you expect from Death Note. You expect this like strategy of, okay, L and Kira, and they go back and forth, and this thing and that thing, and all that stuff, right? That's what you expect. Right? You expect them to have good strategies, twists and turns, right? And be able to be, you knew, but I knew your plan, and this is the twist, right? I was planning that thing all along. I was betraying you, I was lying to you, and all that stuff. That's what you like Death Note, right? Because the main characters are very good at coming plans. They're very good at strategizing, and they're very good at like constructing, a given plan, right? And also having all this twists and turns and so on. And here, this is an example of a Death Note thing, right? Like, we're gonna have this guy, and he's gonna have an angel behind him, but it's the fake angel, right? Or, it's the wrong angel. So we're gonna trick them with the wrong angel, right? We're gonna trick them with the wrong angel. Instead of Nasse, here's his real angel, right? This is his angel. We're gonna switch around. And we're gonna have the other angel, right? So on. So, why doesn't that work then? Well, the issue, of course, is that they're not winning doing this, right? They're not winning by doing the strategy, right? They're not winning at all. They're not winning with the strategy. They're not winning at all with any kind of tactics or reason or a better plan or whatever, right? With the bad guy, sure, he's like a fighter or whatever, right? But the bad guy is constantly portrayed as a very like evil master manipulator, right? Like a CDs and so on, right? He uses his girl to lure them out, he has a bomb, he uses the girl with her angel to pull someone else out, he's, buying some people to play his fake actors kind of thing, faking his power in team and so on, right? He's all about these evil plans, right, And here the good guys are arriving to defeat him with their good plans, whatever, right, they're faking him and so on, yeah. Switcheroo and that stuff, right, yeah. So they have all that going for them, and then the main character just loses it, and he's like, I will fight you with my power, And that's the thing that seems truly terrible, honestly. I keep watching the anime, not because I anymore actually having hope for it, honestly. Honestly, right? I feel the anime probably immediately kind of lost me. Not lost me, but I immediately saw the issue with the anime, right? Episode 2, 3, whatever. It definitely feels a lot worse, right, than Death Note. Like, it feels like much better than Death Note. But this here, I think, perfectly exemplifies how I can't believe it's from the same art, Death Note, right? Because we keep having the bad guy with, plans, right? Here goes the good guy again with their plans, and then they just break their plan, and they basically defeat him by punching him, They beat him. Who needs strategy when you can just punch him in the face, right? You know what I mean? That to me is the lamest way to win this thing. Instead of defeating the bad guy by outsmarting him and, beating him in his own game, right? And actually winning because we're like smarted him and maybe utilizing, I guess, generally speaking, then friendship, right? But actually, it just makes sense, not in a one piece way or whatever. I was like, right, knock him out. But more in the way that the bad guy has no allies, but he's the evil guy, right? He's very good at planning stuff, but he's the evil guy. He doesn't trust anyone. And the good guys are more than one. They have more agents, right, and so on. So they can actually win by teaming up, right? Using their, number advantage, right? To have a better plan than him, right? So even if he's a better guy at planning, his options of plans are limited. He's only one person. So they can make a better plan by having, 3 agents, for example, right? He has almost 1 agent. So they should be able to beat him by having a better plan. So when we see them doing this swap-a-roo thing, that is, for example, something you can do because we have more than 1 agent. He can't use that strategy, right? So of course, I expect them to defeat him with strategy. I expect them to do Death Note and win with strategy, right? Having a better strategy. That's what we're here for, right? That's what we feel that they're worth winning and so on. But instead, he just punched him in the face, right? Yeah. If it's really boring, lame, I feel like. They have all this build up and so on. They're having this strategy, they have the strategy, they have the plans. And in the end, the main character just beat him by being a better fighter. Like, he just attacked him, set out the plan. I mean, he abandoned the plan, right, from the good guys. Yeah, he abandoned their plan. He just threw it out in the wind, and I will defeat him by being a rage monster, right? It's how the bad guys would fight, right? It's how the bad guys would try to defeat the good guys by using just the physical strength, right, and so on. So yeah, I don't get it. Like, what's the point of that? It feels completely out of, not character, but like out of the story elements, right? The story elements clearly that the bad guy is a very good planner, and he constantly is, one-upping them in better plan. He keeps constantly tricking them, right, like the bomb. And then, of course, yeah, I want to see them defeat him in his own game, right? He's a planner, he's a strategic guy, right? I don't want to see them fall for his plan and they just beat the crap out of him. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. That is something we can see in random. Black Clover, Black Clover, One Piece, right? In a show like Black Clover, then it's fine. Asta is an idiot, but he has cool powers, a good guy, right? But he's very good-hearted and so on. So he might get tricked by the evil, manipulating bad guy. Then Asta beats the crap out of him, right? Because Asta is a good guy that has been training in his friendship, you know what I mean? That's fine, because that's the anime of a typical shonen anime, right? It's fine. But this anime is supposed to be, again, then, the trickster, manipulator, right? Death battle royale game. We're trying to trick each other. We have strategies. We have tricks up our sleeves and fake things and so on. This anime is all about deception, right? It's not about the main character being, I have trained every hour per day, right? It's not about the main character being like Gambare, Mara, I've been training a lot. This is about a main character that has been strategized and has been planning and has been trying to figure out a way to beat the main character and so on, right? And then he just beats the crap out of him, basically. If it's really boring. And you can say, well, they didn't win at least. That is fair. They did not win, so they didn't actually end it with this battle. However, though, he did get a key information. By defeating him in combat, he got how his face looked, right? So that's how he's going to obviously lose later on. Because without having the information, they can't figure out who he is, right? Now they know how he looks, so they can actually, have a better plan to beat him. But then they're not beating him at better planning. They have a better plan because they have better information he has. They have a cheat code, right? Yeah. So that's like giving them a cheat code to be worse planners, but have obviously then a cheat code to go in that way. So I think it's a very disappointing way to circumvent that the bad guy is such a good bad guy. So he's a very competent bad guy. He's too competent, so they can't defeat him at his own game. Even though this anime is all about that mind games, right? So that's to defeat him by cheating, basically. That to me feels very lame. I think it's very, very lame, and it's completely not what I expect from the Death and Daughters. So, yeah, I think the anime is pretty terrible, and it's not like terrible, but I think it's always in this anime. I think every episode comes back to this thing where the strategies they're using are piss poor. Yeah, it's like his strategy of what if they shot? What if they had shot those actors with red arrows? They did, but if they had asked them any questions, right, which they didn't do for no reason. So the bad guy strategies are not that good. They shouldn't really work. He's just like lucky that people are idiots, and it's really bad, right? Because I don't want to see the bad guy winning because the good guys are really stupid, or the neutral guys in the case. And now it's like, well, the bad guy is smarter than the good guys. He's really out maneuvering them. But the good guys are just like, screw it, I'm just gonna drop my plans and just base them up, you know what I mean? And again, it would work if it's like typical shonen, but not if the build-up is they're gonna try to outmaneuver him, right, in strategy. And then you just give it up. You surrender that. He's, whatever, strategy is for nerds! I think it's very off. This anime is so off, man. It feels like the authors, they created this really intelligent, evil guy, right? Typical Death Note style. But they didn't manage to create at all, even try to attempt to make the good guy, Elle and Kira and so on, they only made one of them, and they didn't try to make the other guy on the other side be any way competent. So it's also interesting. He's not trying they have these mind games, but they're bad at it. You know what I mean? Like, they have mind games, right? But one of them is good at mind games, but he's not very good. He's just good, and the other guys are terrible at it. So it's like, instead of having mastermind, which is mastermind, you have average mind, which is idiots. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's boring. It's boring. It ruins the whole premise, or the whole theme of it, right? They're not trying to, they don't lose to him in his field. It's just so weird. I don't understand why they want to write it like this. It doesn't make any sense. And also, it doesn't make any sense because it is an other anime manga. I can say, well, this author is trying to write Death Note and they're failing. You know what I mean? Here, he's written by two people that I know can write intelligent, smart main characters. They're just failing at it, or they're not even trying. I don't know what their goal is. If they're not even trying, if they're like, whatever, one smart guy, one stupid guy, you know. But again, isn't it much more better if you have one smart guy, or just one smart guy instead of having one smart guy, or just one idiot? Like, that's not a fun matchup, you know. I want to see that. It's a fun matchup. Unless the idiot gets smarter somehow. But instead of getting smarter, he gets more violent. So it's like, okay. Anyway, long review, subscribe. Press the like button, guys. But you know what I'm thinking about anime? I just think it's like, who needs strategy when I can just beat the crap out of him, you know? Yeah, and I feel that's, it goes against everything the Death Note stands for, I feel it's very, very weird. I have a very hard time understanding that it is from the same authors, but this feels like the opposite Death Note, where instead of trying to, again, to be smarter, right, have a better plan, he's like, whatever, screw it. I punched him. It's like, okay? But it really doesn't live up to its team, right? Because again, if he, from the concept, if Mirai, the main character, was an Asta character, was a Luffy, Asta, whatever narrative from the beginning, then I would be like, oh yeah, I mean his character is, he's a, you know, brawler guy, trades a lot, you know. Like, yeah, okay, that is fine. But not if his character is the, can I say, the pacific strategist guy. That's the personality, right? So it doesn't make any sense then that he would be so bad at doing it and still win by just breaking his own promise, basically. That is very weird. Well, anyway, subscribe and see you guys tomorrow. With Blake Clover tomorrow, and also on a One Piece video, One Piece episode 1000, of course. And I think I was lucky. I just got a SMS here from my delivery because I printed a new One Piece shirt made myself. So I might even get it before episode 1000. It would be really awesome. It would be really fun because if I'm lucky, they might be able to deliver it. Because I bought like home delivery. So I might get it for like Saturday, actually before the episode 1000. It'd be really cool. It'd be the perfect timing there. Be really nice. But anyway, so you guys have a great day.